All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast. And for the fourth part of the show, we are going to talk about the Yankees Brewers series and just the offensive showing that the Yankees put on in the second two games. In the last two games of the series. So they won a close game on Thursday, 4-2. It got a little dicey in the ninth inning with Devin Williams making his Yankee debut, but they were able to pick up the win. So now we get to Saturday. Nestor Cortes, he makes his return to the Bronx to take on his former team. And he had a lot of nice things to say about the team. Going in on the pregame, and then the game started. Max Fried was making his debut as a Yankee, and it was a mixed bag. But he wasn't great. But the Yankees' offense was great in this game. The Yankees, they put up 20 runs in this game. And in that first inning, I saw something that in all my years of watching baseball, and again, if you're an older fan watching this, obviously you have me beat there. But as a now 25-year-old baseball fan, I have never seen back-to-back-to-back home runs on 3 pitches. Paul Goldschmidt, who led off for the Yankees. Now, again, I really am not a fan of the Yankee leadoff hitters that they've had so far, but hey, guess what? I'm a fan now because it's working. It is working. Because Austin Wells, in his first at-bat on Thursday, he homered. In Paul Goldschmidt's first at-bat, leading off, he homers. And the Yankees were off and running. Then Bellinger comes up. He homers on the first pitch, and then Aaron Judge comes up, and then he homers on the first pitch. And Aaron Judge is already off to a much better start than last year, and he hit 58 home runs last year. He's got 4 home runs in 3 games. I think he's the first Yankee to ever do that to start the year. But you had back-to-back-to-back home runs on 3 pitches, and then all of a sudden Austin Wells homers later in the inning. So Nestor Cortes, the last couple of appearances in meaningful games has not looked good. Yankees got rid of him at the right time. But they were not done yet. They put up, the Brewers put up a 3-spot in the top of the second due to sloppy defense. And then in the bottom of the second, they put up a 3-spot, the Yankees. And that was a 3-run homer by Anthony Volpe, so that was big. And then they put up a 6th spot in the bottom of the third. Bellinger had a 2-run single. Or no, it was just an regular RBI single. And then Aaron Judge hit a grand slam to make it 12-3. And then Jazz Chisholm homered to make it 13-3. Brewers scored a run in the top of the fourth. Then Bellinger had a sac fly. Aaron Judge again homered. His 3rd homer of the game. And I think that was his 3rd 3-homer game of his career. So at that point, that made it 16-4. Brewers tacked on a couple of runs in the top of the 5th to make it 16-6. And then the Yankees scored a couple in the bottom of the 6th. Bellinger single. Judge just missed his 4th home run to make it 18-6, an RBI double. Then Oswald Peraza, he homered. 9th homer of the game, make it 20-6. Then Jake Bauers had an RBI double. Bryce Terang, 2-run homer in the top of the 9th, and that was the final score, 20-9. Now, Aaron Judge did get another opportunity to hit his 4th homer of the game. Jake Bauers came in to pitch and threw him a breaking pitch, and Judge just missed that one. So, honestly, Judge could have had 5 homers in the game, but he came just short of that. But, yeah, an unreal game. That's never happened before in Yankees history, 9 home runs. I think that tied, it was like the Reds for the most homers in a single game. But, yeah, I've never seen that many home runs in a game. So, yeah, that was Saturday. Then yesterday, Marcus Stroman pitched in his first game of the season and, pitched 4 2/3, 3 hits, or 5 hits, 3 earned runs. Not bad, not great. Bullpen locked it down. But, yeah, the Yankees, again, off and running. Judge, a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. Ben Rice homered. Jazz Chisholm had a couple of homers in this game. And they ended up winning 12-3. Now, there were some complaints with the Yankees because of the bats they were using, the torpedo bats. and they're a different design bat. But illegal bats was trending all over social media, and people are saying, "Oh, the Yankees are cheating." And one of the Brewers players, brought it up and said, "Well, it's the Yankees, so the league is going to let it pass." Now, here's the thing: the bats are legal. They are legal as of right now. Now, like the tush push, it could be eventually outlawed, and then they can't use them anymore. Aaron Judge, who had 4 home runs over the weekend, he did not use that bat. He used his own bat. So, can't really blame him. But here's the thing. For the Brewers, maybe get some guys out first. How about you get guys out? Your pitching was not great over the weekend. That's why you saw what happened. That's why. It's not because the Yankees were using illegal bats. It's because your pitching is not good. Now, that's because they are dealing with a lot of injuries to their pitching staff. Brandon Woodruff still has to come back. They're missing some guys. So that's kind of why that happened. But don't make excuses. You lost because you didn't perform. And the other team just went off offensively. But you got to be excited if you're a Yankee fan just by that series, because Aaron Judge has gotten off to a good start. Their new acquisitions have gotten off to a good start. The young guys have gotten off to a good start. Lineup's been doing well. The bullpen has looked good. The starting pitching, Carlos Rodon was good on Thursday, but Max Fried, was not great. Only gave up 2 earned runs because the Yankees committed 5 errors on Saturday. But, it was not great. Stroman, got to the 5th inning. Both guys could not get through the 5th inning. And that is what I worry about, because that is eventually going to catch up to them at some point. But Aaron Judge, man, he is the best player in baseball. He's the best player in baseball. You could argue it's Ohtani. I get it. Ohtani's a very good player, but Judge can do more than Ohtani. Now, Ohtani's going to pitch, and then you could say, well, Judge can't pitch. Okay, I get it. But Judge is an elite right fielder. He's got a great arm. He's a good base runner. And then, of course, he's one of the greatest hitters of this generation. He really is. It's unfortunate that he came up so late, because had he come up earlier, and also if injuries weren't a thing, the COVID season, where would his numbers currently be right now? Because, I mean, he's not going to catch up to, Barry Bonds for, like, the most home runs all time. Like, that's not happening. I mean, right now he's at 300. I think he's 32. I think he's at, like, 315, 316. I mean, he could definitely get to 500, which you'll take that. But, if he would have came up earlier, you wonder how many home runs would he have at this moment. But, hey, you never know. I mean, he could hit 50 home runs, for the rest of his career every single year. And then he's there. But possibly. But I'd have to do math. I'm assuming that. But it really is impressive what he does as a player. Now, I know everybody's going to talk about the postseason. I get that, but what you are watching with him is truly special, and probably won't see this again. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy this, because at some point it's going to be over. When I was younger, I just never thought Derek Jeter and those guys were ever going to retire. Him and Mariano Rivera. I just never thought they were going to retire. But then, you realize, even those guys retire at some point. And, you're seeing it across all sports. All these major players retiring. Tom Brady retiring. And at some point, LeBron James is going to retire. It's just, it happens. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy it. Look, I'm not going to go too crazy, because it is just one series, and I did say, in the last segment that, I think the Yankees are going to get a little bit of a reality check when we get to Tuesday, tomorrow, because they will be going up against Corbin Burns, who is a very good pitcher, and the Yankees have Will Warren pitching tomorrow against a good Diamondbacks team. And, well, they didn't have a great series. Actually, no. What's their record after the first series? Because they went up against the Cubs. Yeah, they. They went 2-2 in that series, but still, they got good pitching, and yeah, this is gonna be different from the Brewers. So we'll see how it goes. Can the Yankees keep this up? But yeah, Aaron Judge already off to a much better start than last year, so he's looking to get to 70 this year, and it's just amazing. You see what he's doing, and he gets off to the start, and you're just like, yeah, he could definitely get to 60 again, and let's hope so. I'd love to see another one of those seasons and enjoy it. But yeah, a good weekend for the two World Series teams. Obviously, the Dodgers won, I know, but still, it was a good weekend for both teams. They're both undefeated. There's actually a few undefeated teams after the first series of the year. So you got the Dodgers. Well, they've already played two series, but yeah, they're undefeated right now. The Yankees are undefeated. The Padres are undefeated. They're 4-0. They got off to a good start. And I thought there was one more. I think it wasn't the Cardinals. Yeah, Cardinals. They swept the Twins. So you got four undefeated teams right now. Let's see if they can keep it up. All right, so now we are going to take our final break of the show now. I do apologize for some of the background noise. We had my brother, I don't know what he was doing in his room, but you also had my dog outside, my door's chasing her tail. So a lot of background noise. I don't know if my brother was like drilling in a shelf or something, but that's what happens in my household. So yeah, when we come back from our final break, we will talk about the Tennessee Titans. I'll talk about their season, what they've done in the offseason, and what they could potentially do in the draft, which I think we kind of figure what they're going to do, but we'll see. So for one final time today, make sure to stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast.